All right. The October 20th, 2025 meeting of the Woolwich Township Committee is being called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Here.
Committeewoman Minhas. Committeewoman Williams. Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Here.
Mayor Mathias.
Here. Everyone can please rise to salute the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Up first, we have our first public comment session. The public is please reminded to stand and state their name and address for the record prior to addressing the committee. Can I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The floor is now open for public comment.
Seeing no one come forward, motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance 2025-17, ordinance of the Township of Woolwich, amending the personnel policies and procedural manuals of the Township of Woolwich. This is the second reading, the public hearing. So, can I have a motion to open the floor to the public for ordinance 2025-17?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? All right, then the floor is now open for ordinance 2025-17. Seeing no one come forward, can I have a motion to close?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt 2025-17?
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Just, I know we went back and forth. The only thing I did not see, which could have been just coming in late, was the part-time, about the extended over 20 hours. Was that inserted?
Yeah.
We verbally talked through it. I just
Yeah,
did not see
yeah.
the
Yes.
document.
38, page 38 in red, in the middle.
Jim, can you speak into the microphone, please? Thank you.
Page 38 in red says, in the middle of the page says, part-time regular employees working 20 hours or more per week will receive exactly half of the hours of full-time employee and will follow the same scheduled increase.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks for incorporating that too. I think that's
No, I think that's
very
a good thing.
beneficial and overdue.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions? And roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Ordinance 2025-18, ordinance of the Township of Woolwich, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 182 of the Code to establish no parking regulations on Merseyside Drive, Benito Drive, Casella Way, and Weatherfield Court. This is the second reading public hearing. Can I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
The floor is now open for ordinance 2025-18. Seeing no one step forward, can I have a motion to close?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-18?
Motion. Second.
Any questions? And roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. All right, resolutions. Now, you notice our resolutions are slightly out of order because some of our topics deal with the liaison reports. So what I am going to do is I'm going to look for a consent agenda for resolutions 273 through 281. And then we will stop there and then pick up after that point. So can I have a motion for a consent agenda for resolutions 2025-273 through 281?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any removals?
280, please.
All right, so I have a motion for a consent agenda for resolutions 2025-273 through 2025-281 with the removal of a 280. All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2025-273 through 2025-281 with the removal of 280?
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. All right, so as far as discussion, since we have our engineer here, on 2025-275, this is the resolution for a fourth revised 60-day temporary site safety certification, certificate of occupancy. A fourth one. Why are we doing a fourth one, and do we need to do a fourth one? This seems like we've bent over backwards to accommodate them, and now we're doing yet another one. Why?
So when we do the process of issuing our letter to recommend temporary certificate of occupancy and say that the site is safe, we have a list of things that they have to address before they can get their certificate of occupancy. And they've just been taking a long time to address all these issues. Some of it has to do with getting state approval for the walkway adjacent to 322. Some of it has to do with some of the landscaping items. Some of it has to do with some of the basin items where the basins weren't draining properly, and it took them time to do it. It has taken longer than I typically seen, but I know they're getting to the end of the process. They just sent over some of the basin percolation test results last week. We on our office are reviewing those now. Those are the final things that need to get done, and then we're going to do a final inspection again to double check and make sure everything on our list was completed. So it's just been a long time approval from many different parties, and it has taken longer than I typically seen, but they have been, I feel, making a good faith effort on hitting these items, and I don't think personally that they've been dragging their feet on doing any of these items.
What are the consequences if we don't approve this extension?
They won't get their CO for the site, for the warehouse, and
Do they need to reapply? I mean,
I do not know if they need to reapply. I just know that the TC will expire and they won't be able to get there. Frankly, I don't know. I'm not sure if that'll be a question for the construction office. But in terms of the site safety, that's why we haven't gone from temporary site safety certificate and permanent and final.
and let's say they don't complete it, if we do grant this extension, what then? It just goes into another extension? I mean, if there's no ending point or consequences for not completing it, I understand about getting the CO, but if there's no difference in between us approving it or not approving it, well, why are we bothering?
I mean, it's a good question. We can, if they don't do it and ask again, we can say no, and we hold their bond in that case. They still have a bond on the site for the TCO bond, and we can hold that as well. I know that they do have some incentive for getting their CO to get the bond back as well. So they are incentivized to adjust all these items and get their CO. It's just.
Do you know if they're current in their escrow?
I do know that they are deficient in the escrow. I forget the exact number, but I do know that one of our latest invoices has not gone through because of the escrow.
Do we know if they're deficient in their tax?
My understanding is they're up to date on their tax.
I'm sorry?
My understanding is they're up to date on their tax.
They're up to date on the tax?
And one thing also to note is that
No?
I did not think they were.
one thing to note also is if they are escrow deficient, we will not issue our recommendation for a CO. That's one of our requirements is escrow has to be sufficient for us to get our invoices paid.
So I'm just wondering, again, I hear what you're saying, or I think I hear what you're saying is that it does not make a great amount of difference. However, if we do not issue this, they will have to some sort of reapply or still correct everything in order to get the CO. But if this is the point, this is their fourth extension, they're deficient on their escrow, they might be deficient on their taxes, they might be. I think if the committee chooses to vote no, this would send a clear message that we are done with the extensions for this and they need to act accordingly. But
I have the exact same question, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Okay.
spoke to it, because I don't know, again, what's that so what? Because
Right.
I'm not sure, so sir, if you can speak to basically, if we don't extend a grant, I mean, technically it was the 17th, I
Right.
believe, was the end,
Right.
basically Friday. So if we don't extend, I'm not sure what that so what is.
But help me out, I was doing something else. Extend to who?
Little
To-
North Point, basically the
Yeah.
one warehouse that they're trying
Right.
to extend for a fourth time.
You're
get their
talking about
TCO.
you've been back and forth on this pilot? and-
We've been
No,
extending
this-
it. No, not pilot at all.
This is the
Nope, no pilot.
TSSC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
no
yeah.
pilot.
This is literally the building itself
The-
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So this is the fourth extension that they're looking for.
Resolution 69, oh, right, yeah. So the answer may be yes. The answer may just as easily be no. It's that simple.
I'm
No.
glad we paid you.
No, what I'm saying is what you
Ask an
say.
attorney.
No, what you say is quite correct, because it's an accommodation.
Okay,
So if you've already accommodated this entity, then good on you, and that's that. It's time for them to have their house in order and move forward if they're prepared to move forward. It's that simple.
okay.
You know, you're not playing with kids. These are major projects. There's no impediment. We haven't had any weather events or horrible things happening. There's no palpable excuse to not be moving forward in a deliberate fashion. Period, the end.
Okay,
We could ask construction, but the only thing that I would think might happen is if you said no, and they now don't get the extension, is that maybe you have to go back out and redo the whole punch list. That may be the negative for them. That instead of continuing the punch list that they have and saying, okay, we need this fulfilled, and they're not fulfilling it, then when you stop that and say you're not going to get that extension.
Which
now
they
you-
should not do until an escrow is available.
Right.
And taxes are paid.
That's
Right.
correct. Yep,
So, yeah.
yep. So
okay.
we'll find out about that too.
To speak to that, like I said, will do a final site CO inspection to make sure everything was done. We will not issue a letter saying we recommend CO for this site until escrow is paid up, our invoices are paid. That's one of our things we're adamant about, not sending out that letter until everything's sorted out on that end.
Right, and ultimately, mayor or committee, at the end of the day, it's a recommendation.
Understood. Okay. All right.
Is this site operational right now?
There's no occupants, no, because they only have their TSSCO. They don't have and there's nobody in the building.
Yeah, I would just like to also better understand, I know we ask pretty much every month about the taxes, and I'm still not convinced of what's been paid and when the start date was. Because technically, I think it should be June, I forget the exact day, but June something.
Well, again, I think I'm referencing it, so is the clerk. We're referencing an email that we were copied on from our tax collector, which indicated when they got their TCSS, whatever.
Yeah.
They're temporary.
Understood, yes,
When they got
TC.
their temporary, and that it went from the farmland to the actual warehouse. And so they were actually questioning the amount of that bill, which is making me think they're in
Yeah.
arrears about
You're
it.
right, there are arrears.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay.
All right, any additional questions?
Just I won't hold up the discussion. I know Chief is here to further discuss it, but for 281, it just describes the grant agreement, but I didn't actually see the grant agreement.
Okay.
So I'm okay moving forward, but if we can maybe post-meeting receive a copy.
So this is the LEAP grant for the actual study?
Understand?
Yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely.
We usually just have it in our packet following the
Okay.
resolution, that's all.
Absolutely.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, then hearing no further questions, then I have a motion to adopt those resolutions. So roll call, and again, committee, if you choose to vote differently on any of these items, you most certainly can by calling them out.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes to all, no to 275.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
No to 275, yes to the rest.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes to all except for 275 where I vote no.
You did that the plainest. Congrats.
All right. Resolution 2025-280, resolution of the Township of Woolwich, County of Gloucester, authorizing the sale of a liquor license, a plenary retail consumption license. Can I have a motion to introduce? Or a motion to adopt, sorry.
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Okay, so discussion. As you know, committee, we have been going back and forth on creative ways in order to have the sale of this liquor license. And I believe lots of options have been looked at and discovered, and it seems the tried and true seems to work best. So what you're seeing in front of you is just a regular sealed bid notification or sealed bid for the sale of a liquor license with the floor of 400,000. So this is just like we did, Craig, 2 years ago before and all that. Again, we assume we have interest, which is why we're doing it now, but we shall see how it goes if the committee authorizes it. So, additional questions?
I kind of answered it, but I know we were trying to do a live bid, we just, not worth the, please.
The problem is, so for example, if you had a developed area, whether it be cars or wine or something like that, where they have these auctions and there are known quantities and entities and there's a big interested following, then you have successful auctions. When I was talking to your administrator, who does a wonderful job, but we went back and forth, and I said, honestly, you'd probably be better served ultimately if you were considering a quote-unquote live auction with a broker. And the reason is because brokers are quote-unquote connected. They have tentacles coast to coast. And the big chains, the big companies have money and may well have an interest in a place like Woolwich. Woolwich is very, very attractive. We had that conversation back and forth. That conversation, no doubt, was spread by the administrator a little bit beyond the confines of me and him. And what the measured approach seemed to be at this point was, you've got 2 licenses, go out on one, make it a floor of 400, see if you get somewhere, see if somebody nails it, comes back better or something like that, and then you kind of check yourself moving forward at that point. If you have a good result, you might want to just punch it up a little more, publicize a little bit more for the next time. Or if it's lukewarm or not what you hoped it to be, then maybe explore the broker avenue. But that's the summary of kind of where we were back and forth and back and forth. It's easier said than done to get those guys. There were a handful of people that I knew in the county. Unfortunately, some of them have died and some of them have moved away. And so it was just hard to get that corral of people with potential interest and, importantly, money.
So 2 other questions then. So I know we have a deadline of 11/25, and you're kind of alluding to there's a lot of paperwork and there's specific requirements in here. Is that enough time to put a packet like that together, should someone be interested?
I don't see why not.
Okay, it just seemed very involved.
Well, people who are
and
in
also
business
involved, I thought,
are
some
in
clearances
are
were
in the
state.
business.
Okay.
We'll certainly find out. But remember, you have the unbridled right to decline any and all offers. You also have already set a floor. And people who are in a business, this is what they do.
So, the ability to reject all offers. Item 7 says the township reserves the right to reject all bids where the highest qualified bid is not accepted. Does that reflect that? Actually,
Well, you can always
What does
choose
that-
not to issue the license.
Okay.
That's it.
I read that as meaning you could only reject the ones that weren't the highest.
You can reject ones that don't meet the floor, and you can also elect to not.
I'm not
issue
sure why we
license.
would do that, but.
No, but that's, also an option.
And then number 9 in that same area, could you explain what that means? I'd read it to you, but it's.
Let me see if I can get to that. Is the cost and fees? Where are we at?
No, a new license must be issued.
Oh, here. A new license must be issued within 6 months after the collection date established. The acceptance of applications of no such license is not. No license been issued. Okay. You know what? I think we can strike that because I don't really think that's necessary here. Seriously.
I would be in favor of that, because
Yeah.
that makes no sense to me.
Well, it sometimes you have a situation where the other things kind of wheels turning are in play, and no,
All right.
I'm not going to belabor it. That's simple.
Okay.
So we're gonna say 11/25 then we feel is sufficient. It just seems like a ton of paperwork.
Are you talking paperwork for the
For them
bidder?
to apply for the license for for us.
I think, again, it's being advertised twice. It meets all the protocol. It's within the state requirements for advertising. So I think
Okay.
if, as our solicitor said, if people are interested in doing this, then they've probably done it before or can figure it out by the time now. And again, I think we're also giving it a little bit of extra time because the clerk has a very busy schedule. So in between now, and I'm sure our administrator will start spreading the word that this is coming up, and they have a little bit extra time to do
Right.
it.
I was going to ask if we can make sure, I mean, we have probably at least 5 developers.
Well, that's
That
what I was just going to say. You also
Send it out.
obviously are
To our connection group. Yep.
encouraged to preach the gospel,
Yep.
to get it out to everyone.
All right, for all of those of you on our YouTube channel, if you're interested in purchasing a liquor license, we have one available.
Well, we gotta.
And just one last question is, I know we right now have a 3-year time commitment, which again, for the first one, I'm okay with it as well, but I know when we're talking about 322 development, we kind of hear 2031 as the magic-ish number, which is 5 years. I know we can do 2 one-year extensions,
one-year
which
extensions.
just gets it there. So I just want to make sure that was the two one-year extensions we're okay with, or because it's right on the border of,
Well,
from everything I've heard.
I mean, if we had a crystal ball that said when the development would be coming,
Sure.
that would be different. So I mean, we can, as we put this out, if we start hearing back from the developers that this is unacceptable or that it's
Right.
too short of a time, then we'll have feedback and we can amend it. But I think we have to have a floor somewhere.
Agreed.
Is this written in a way, though, to make it so we could, like, if we were to make that say that at the committee's discretion, it can continue to be extended, do you think we would just be receiving pressure from developers to keep doing that?
Yes, because then I think it would turn into a pocket license. And I think we're trying to avoid it being kept as a pocket license.
And do we think this or a future committee would not be willing to just go no after?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
You always have to consider that any applicants to would-be owner would be looking to park something until they have the absolute best circumstances. And sometimes they're not even a good judge of what the best circumstances are. And that's where the frustration enters, because they just sit on something, and it's always looking for something that's maybe not going to come around. So that's why it's typical, is what I'm saying, in these agreements.
But to refresh my memory, the last time this was done, Committeeman Frederick, was it a 3-year on it, or was it just a 1-year?
We tried several.
Okay.
Yeah, and both times we did it, we got 0
Right.
applicants. One was a floor of some sort, I forget if it was 1, 2, 3 years, and the other one was nothing
No.
attached, and still got nothing.
Okay. All right, well, again,
Right.
all we can do is try.
When I chatted with Mr. Wolfson, he seemed to think that 5 years was plenty for him.
Okay. And just last question is, if that's so, what happens that 5 years comes and goes? What happens with the dollars that were invested? Such as, let's say there was a $400,000 bid.
What was invested? What are you talking about?
So if they
So
bought it,
if
but
we
they didn't
award
use
them-
it, we keep the money?
Well, if they bought it but didn't use it, they're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Actually sat through a session of this at the league, and they were very clear on the fact that these are not considered assets and that there was no
Yeah.
precedent for them to be treated as such.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's life in a big city, as they say.
I just wasn't sure if it was clear enough in the wording, or-
Clear enough in the law. I mean, it's just the way it
Okay,
is.
perfect.
It's like, use it or lose it.
That particular session went as far to say that just bringing back a pocket license is doable without any financial recourse in some scenarios. Now, that probably involves litigation, but it seems like there's quite a bit of precedent for it.
Okay, well, we're just looking to do 3 years with a 2 one-year extension right now, but, okay. Any additional questions? Then, so as amended with the striking of
Paragraph 9.
paragraph 9, can I have a roll call, please?
do we need to
Committeeman
officially?
Frederick.
Oh, wait, do we
Okay.
need to officially amend it, or is that?
Yeah,
We
Okay.
just kind of did.
I think you did,
It's
yeah,
part of
strike
the
number 9.
There we go.
We did? Okay. All right.
All right, roll call, please, as amended.
Committeeman Frederick,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino,
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. All right, so again, you see the monthly reports in here because we will have some action items coming out of the monthly report. So administrator report.
Yes, just quickly on the personnel end, we are looking to tonight approve for a full-time deputy clerk and payroll clerk. We had 15 apply, 6 interviewed, so we had a lot of good candidates, which was excellent. Just like the police did as well, a lot of good candidates, so it was a good time for recruitment this last few months. Just note on here, Joe Walter, who's been a very good crew leader for Public Works, kind of second in charge under Brian. He's just completed his 5 years of employment, so congratulate him if you see him. Last thing under personnel, the First Baptist Church event, I do still have some of the flyers up here. I've been getting some other emails, is anybody coming from committee, and they're wanting emails. So if you are planning on coming, tell me and I'll make sure I email them. I think Chief will be going over and possibly seeing if he can take the truck over, so trying to get involved over there. You have my report, just a few updated items. Russell Mill, Back Creek Road's separate, and that is under South State. That should begin in another week or so. We just had a notice to proceed in a pre-construction meeting with Oakview Terrace and that milling, and that should begin in a few weeks as well. Talked with Mark.
So a quick question on
Yes, sir.
Back Creek?
Yes.
Are they shutting down the road for the full length of repair or just doing half and half?
No, they're just doing, I think they're going to be doing a half and half. It doesn't seem like there's going to be doing any shutting down, just one lane open the whole time.
Yes.
North Point Development, I did talk to Mark Gloyeski today, and they are back into, don't quite have an agreement yet with Mr. Bathgate, but he is working on that. So it seems like they got some attention, his attention, I think, and they're going back and forth. Mark was pretty positive that they were going to be able to work out a deal and come back and start that development again. SADC, TDR, we did go up this last week. We finished the monitoring reports of all TDR farms. That was sent to SADC prior to this meeting. The bank board did finally get together after several years not getting together. I think 2021 was the last year. We did have Al Marmara, redevelopment attorney, and the mayor made good presentations in terms of our points and where we're coming from and why we believe we have done everything and more than we could do in terms of the money that was received. They did go to closed session for a while and then came back out and said, we'll contact you. And we have not gotten anything in writing yet. So I did contact Steve and asked him, as well as Chuck, the executive director, and they said, yep, it's been a couple of busy days and they are planning on sending us the information. So there are a few things that they wanted to discuss, but they haven't formally presented anything to us at this point. And then retail development, I have a meeting, an event that's a 30-30 developer event at Rowan College of Burlington County on Wednesday. That's done just about annually, where they get 30 developers, 30 municipalities, counties, to try to get in the same room and sell the local developers to what is going on in your town. So usually it's a pretty good contacting time, so I'll be there on Wednesday morning. Any questions?
No, mostly just a comment. You were very diplomatic about the SADC meeting. My opinion is that meeting was a disgrace. It appeared to be a farce, as the members of the TDR Bank Board did not even appear to know what TDR was, and it was relayed to them during that session. And again, for the 3 viewers of our YouTube channel, we're doing everything we can to possibly move this forward. But it is unacceptable to me that the state is willing to prevent us from preserving farms when we have farmers that want to preserve their land, all in the furtherance of a program that we have irrefutable evidence did not, could not, and will not work in Woolwich Township.
Very well said.
Very well said, yes.
But I would also say we countered with a better program in terms of its use of funds
We,
as well.
we laid out the case that we achieved what TDR intended to achieve, just not through the TDR mechanism, and that our position is this needs to end here and now, and that may have been well received, it may have not been well received, because they told us they would deliberate in public, and from the evidence we have, that did not occur. It appeared to occur in a closed session.
But I would say we didn't achieve, we exceeded from the
Absolutely.
intent.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that was
Yes.
our position.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And they did say that they would not allow farmland preservation to continue here or accept any applications unless there was an agreement between
Unless
us.
what, I'm sorry?
Unless we had an agreement.
Yeah,
Which is,
They would not entertain any applications unless there was an agreement?
correct.
Oh, this is where the government attacks the
Yeah,
town
yeah,
now? like
yeah,
Florida?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a very
But they
interesting.
do it out in Jersey now? Oh, okay.
The backdrop was really interesting because when you walk into the building, there's all these materials about preserving farms,
Right,
public
right.
partnership. I even threw a magnet on the back of my car that's now in the trash because they obviously have no interest in preserving farms.
It's baffling.
Yeah.
That's their aim, is to preserve farmland. They did that. But they're holding to the line that TDR was for development. So they want us to develop no matter
They
how
just-
much.
they can't-
We're saying we don't want to develop.
They
We
just
don't wanna
can't
develop.
accept, they can't accept what's plain in
Right.
front of their face.
If I take the level of emotion I've since injected out of this, their position seems to be that their only interest is making this program work. There were numerous people that started
Right.
off the meeting by singing its praises and how successful it's been in the 1 or 2 areas it's actually worked, but any alternative is not on the table. The presentation that we witnessed seemed to be foreshadowing how you could possibly maybe make this work in Woolwich one more time, but the only way that that would happen is if we drove density in places no one wants it.
Well, the open secret is, the state has driven many a small town into near penury over affordable housing. So to what end? They got neither the affordable housing, and the small town got a punch in the nose and had a hole in its budget. And it's been going on for 40 years, so.
And you mentioned most people in the room didn't even know how to put the 3 letters together of TDR.
Yeah,
The
so how can you
blank
be
stares
optimistic?
of the
Yeah.
TDR bank board members were astonishing.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And again,
Unbelievable, but-
we have to say that at least we're making incremental progress. As the administrator said before, the SADC kept saying, well, we're going to get the bank board together. We're going to get them together. We're going to get them together, because they had never met since 2021.
Yeah.
Well, not even that.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got them to meet. They have now authorized the SADC to negotiate with us, which now, again, so we have incremental progress, but now we can really start making our case. And maybe they'll be forthcoming with that letter, and we'll see what they say, and we'll see what the Attorney General's office says.
Yeah.
And then we can strategize our next steps as a municipality. But again, farmland preservation is still closed, and that is so against what the SADC stands for.
And the AG's office was there, and so they already had a plan to
They
tell the
did.
TDR board, this is what we're going to offer, so it really wasn't.
And they kicked us out of the
Very
room
much for
for
discussion.
closed session while the AG's office spoke, so we have no idea what the AG's office said to them.
Yeah.
It is substantial progress. It's just we're back to dealing with SADC.
Right. Right, well, at least they can't point the finger to a non-existent bank board.
We got the bank board
We-
together.
Yes.
Woo!
That was,
Right. Okay, any questions for the administrator? Any additional questions? All right. Thank you. Tax collector, the report is remitted. Woolwich Fire Company, chief.
Evening, Mayor and Committee. You guys have my report, which is included in your agenda packet. Basically, it gives you explanatory where we were for the whole month of September, excuse me. We had 70 incidents, and in the month of August, and out of that response time, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. On call 911 to the time we got on location. Most of those calls throughout that time was 42 in Woolwich, 4 in Logan, 0 on the Turnpike at the time, 4 in Salem County, Woodstown, 12 in Swedesboro, 7 in South Harrison, and 1 in East Greenwich. Where we were that month. A couple of things I got to bring to you tonight is we, as the fire department, had applied for the FEMA Safer Grant and was a recipient of the Career Staff Grant. That grant was awarded to us. Originally, we had asked for just shy of $1 million for our project. We were awarded $575,000 out of that 930 hit, just shy of $1 million. So what that does is that gives us some money to start with in a 3-year project through the federal government, which if we would have got it back in 23, it would have been 100% payout for 3 years before the municipalities had to put their share in. What that would have meant was we would have probably got a full amount of $1 million if that program was awarded back in 2023, whereas in 2024's program, they changed the study around where it was 25, 25, 65 for the municipalities in the 3-year response, and it would have been 75, 75, and 35 from the federal government is what they get now. So with that being said, that money that we originally asked for got brought back down to what the federal government was looking to give to us once they awarded us. Now it's up to municipalities to make that shortfall in between there, so we get that now. What that grant will allow us to do is hire 3 career guys on during the daytime, Monday through Friday, and they'll respond to the daytime or call response in our busy community that's going on in terms right now. We do have our duty crew program, which is running right now, which is 4 guys on the nighttime. Those guys have been getting out quite a bit, and that's Monday through Friday as well, because the weekend, a lot of them volunteer at home, so that call volume is picked up on the weekends and helps out. Just the evenings, it's kind of, it struggles because people work and shift works and things like that and trying to make ends meet. So that was one. A couple of the other things is I did speak to the chief from North Wildwood Fire Department. He did call me back last week on Friday. We spoke about the LEAP grant information and the studies were done. Wildwood had 4 studies done recently in the early years. CRG, CGRS, or the group that did do one of the studies, he did speak highly of them, said they did an outstanding job writing their feasibility study what they had for the cities. They currently have 5 municipalities in there that are merged together. That was what they wrote the grant for. A lot of good information came out which helped them swing in the right direction. One, to hire more staff, but also to show the city need to upgrade some things in order to meet demand for the community. He did, what was shocking, which was kind of interesting to me, was that the grant or the group doing the study basically said that the summertime of North Wildwood equated to the public, the amount of people that's in the city of New York City during the summertime. That's how many people are in that city during that summertime for vacations, things like that. So their population jumps massively. So he said when wintertime comes after September, that public, that draws in a little bit because that's summertime versus wintertime. The other thing is, in the grant, we had a meeting last week also for the grant there, and we discussed that with the mayors. We got to figure out between the 2 municipalities. We hired these 3 new employees. Which municipality is going to pick it up? The grant money is officially going to come into the fire department as the municipalities have to pay up front, and we have to take the money and reimburse the municipalities back when we get the money over back to whichever financial part of the municipality to take that grant. So.
I'm sorry, quick question. When you say upfront, meaning for the 3 years or for?
Yeah, so you'll get reimbursed each year. So each year it's a reimbursement. So out of the 75% of that money, 25% is solely on the municipalities to pay for that part. They're bid into it, okay? The 75% that the federal government gives you year 1, they'll reimburse back the municipalities. So you have to pay up front. They're going to reimburse you, so you'll get the money back.
Pay up front for year 1 or all 3 years?
All 3 years. As you go on. Okay.
Well, I was going to say, so again, we had a preliminary conversation with the grant writer. And so what still needs to be ironed out is first implementation schedule.
Right.
So we have probably,
180 days.
180 days in order to implement this. And in that is going to be a discussion with the borough of Swedesboro, since that's the way the grant was written. First, congratulations on it, by the way. So yes, we have a 25% share, but then the federal government will only pay a maximum amount for salary and for benefits. So then what we also need to do is determine, starting at the starting point, what will the salary be for these 3 positions? What will the benefits be? And then knowing the federal share is going to be any of the overages. Then we take from that total of whatever that total is and figure out 25% what that is, and then we have to divide it in between Swedesboro and Woolwich. So all that needs to take place. And then we got to go, whose authority does it roll under? Is it going to be the boroughs? Is it going to be the municipalities? But since those positions would become full-time employees, they fall within the cap. So that's also going to have to be something that's talked about. Then once we have those positions and we've determined what the cost share is, then yes, one municipality would be paying the entirety of it and then being reimbursed.
By the federal government.
By the federal government each year as it goes along. So
After the third year,
then it becomes entirely on the municipality and whatever split or ratio has been decided upon initially. So it's an incubator program to get us to 3 full-time staff. So there's still some stuff that still needs to be ironed out in between the municipalities, and then will be brought back to the committee. But it's a great work because I know this is what we need to get there. Also, as a municipality, we each need to build our budget year after year. So this, if whatever our percentage is of 25%, this is great to start us up there to get to that full 3-time paid staff. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I thought maybe my perspective being an outsider might help a little bit on it.
That's good, thanks.
so, that's pretty much it. Like I said, we got 180 days, we're gonna try to implement this and get this moving. On my end, I have to get a lot of stuff set up with the academies to do the testing, the interviews, the whole 9 yards, and certain things like that. So we'll be working on that whole process as well. And the municipality will see that process as it goes out, because then once we start accepting the applications, we'll have to go through the testing process, the physical yearly test process, and then the interview process. And you have to score all 3 of these processes to get to where it is for honor.
And I know it's probably a little early, but who would do the hiring for these positions?
So once we figure out the municipalities, who's going to take the employees, we'll make sure that those municipality partners are involved in it. As the fire chief and other fire chiefs from outside of our district, we'll be doing the interviews, and we'll look at their credentials or certifications and all that, and determine how they score through the testing process to pick those candidates first.
Okay. And then who will handle the scheduling or administration of these
We
positions?
will take care of that during the daytime, the in-house fire department will, because we know where our needs are for those, so we'll take care of that inside. As far as what you guys are putting your manual together, things like that for employees, whoever picks them up, whether it's Sweetburg, you guys will follow their municipality manuals and things like that, because they'll be an employee from you, then they'll have our SOGs they'll have to follow.
Okay. And again, I have a feeling the duty falls to you as chief to come up with those schedules or your admin team. Do you draw a salary at all for doing that
I
scheduling?
do not.
Okay.
So that's something we'll have to talk about.
All right. Okay, so again, to backtrack to the LEAP grant, of course, you saw on here on the resolution, we would appoint the CGR as with a not to exceed the 75,000. That is your recommendation coming out of it?
Yeah, after talking to some of the people that they work with them, they seem pretty well fit.
Okay. Also, I think you have something else about a broken down ladder truck.
So, we've been working on talking about replacing this ladder truck. I did take the time to get some quotes and prices for the municipality, shared those prices with the mayor, sent those prices over to them last few weeks. We've been working extensively the last few months with 3 different vendors to get 3 different numbers. They're all within the same realm of anywhere from 1.9 to a little over $2 million for that truck. We have to start thinking positively, looking to replace this truck. And the reason being is today I received some bad news today with our current ladder truck. The guy was in to do the service and he found coolant in our motor oil. So not that in the last couple of years, we went through and I've looked at what we spent on that truck in the last couple of years. Last year, we spent about $45,000 on that truck. That's half our budget. So we have to make a step forward. It's going to be 48 months before we even have to pay for that truck to see that piece of apparatus to show up in this town. We have to start making the steps to go that direction to replace that truck. It's a vital piece of equipment that we need in this community. With the housing being built, with the buildings being built, we cannot go without it. The township next door to us, they're buying engines. They have a ladder truck. They are not looking to buy a ladder truck because they know that we're in the business to have a ladder truck. We share calls with them. We respond to calls with them. So in intent, it's almost like we're duplicating resources. Why would they buy a ladder? We buy a ladder when we have a ladder that's 10 minutes away, that we're going to their calls as it is, so we would assist them. So with municipalities around us, that's what a lot of people are doing now, they're looking at not duplicating resources. You know, we could have bought a tower truck, we didn't want a tower truck because Harrison Township has a tower truck, why have two towers with the comments and each other? It makes no sense. So with that being said, the company was in doing the maintenance today. They drain the trucks, motor fluids, everything like that, put everything back in. We currently can use the truck right now, but they are going to do a testing process. They don't know if it's a head gasket that has blown. They're going to look at that. If it's a cracked cylinder wall, that truck is going to be down for probably the rest of the year because now it's going to have to go back up to the vendor. They're going to have to tear the motor down and rebuild the motor, which hypothetically, I don't know what that estimate will be until we get to that process if we see what the testing is. That being said, now we don't have a ladder in our town at all, and we're going to rely on municipalities, our mutual aid partners to bring a ladder in their period for what we need for our town. We're already behind the gun as it is with a 4-year time frame with a new truck. If we decided before the end of the year to purchase a new ladder truck, we're looking at 4 years before we even see that truck, before we need you guys to pay for that truck. That should give you enough time down the road that putting some funding away, things like that, that we can get this ladder truck by the time it gets here and it's delivered, that we can run this ladder truck. We're going to need it. With 2,700 more homes coming in this town.
Right.
That truck.
Right. So again, Logan does not have a 100-foot truck. They have a 75-foot, correct?
75.
Okay. So I think it's fortuitous timing that we're doing this LEAP grant to see what everybody's resources are. And if we have a 4-year, then we can anticipate, because we'll have we'll have the study completed and we'll have a frame of direction. In order to purchase a fire truck, again, unless we had the cash on hand, which would get us a nice hefty discount, we have to bond for it. And in bonding for it, the state of New Jersey has low interest 20-year loans for buying emergency apparatus. So we would have to bond for basically 1.9?
1.927 if you get it right now. I got the truck down that close. But as of November 1st, it's going to go up to almost $2,040,000 because they're going to be doing a 5% increase.
Well, I think the longer we wait to at least put the bond together, because again, we cannot sign any agreement until we secure the funding, and that's coming directly from our finance department. So we have to have the funding in place before we sign anything. So I guess what I would be looking for the committee to do is see if there is the appetite to at least get that bond ready so that we could do a 20-year loan to buy this apparatus, since it is a 4-month lead time, 4
year.
I wish it was a 4-month. 4-year, but that, again, as we're anticipating the money for the SAFER grant, we can start building in the funds for the purchase of this fire truck, which again is going to go into.
And we're going to, listen, once we figure out in the next week or so what's going on, right now, I've instructed my guys, unless we really need to run the ladder truck down the road, don't run it down the road unless it's dire need, if it's the wrong fire or something, where we need it there. We got the other trucks that we're going to run down the road, and we'll do what we need to do. But at this point, if we have to repair that motor to get that truck here, we still got 4 years that truck's got to run there. So I can't run it down to nothing. And we're constantly putting $40,000, $50,000 in this truck every year. And that $40,000, $50,000 we can put towards the payment.
Right, and this is affecting all the residents, and yeah, so. So would the committee be interested in putting out a bond for the purchase of a fire truck?
I guess the main question from the LEAP study is, would they not come up with a potential cost share as part of that, right? So let's just pretend it's just flat 2 million to keep even, shared amongst 5 municipalities. Yes, it resides on ours, so maybe we're in charge of, I'm just making a percent, 60%, and then the other ones would do 10%.
So I think you can speak to the purchase of apparatus. It's usually municipalities own each apparatus.
Yes, even with the merger, it's going to be like that.
Right.
That's like Woolwich Township just bought 2 trucks. So then now they purchased those trucks. They're going to come to Woolwich Township and say, we bought these trucks. They're already here. You'll be a quarter of that money. You're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't buy the trucks you bought. Right. So it's no different than everybody else. I know East Greenwich and them, they're all doing the same thing. They're looking to, at some point, from what I understand, they're looking to buy that, right? Their town's busy up there. They're busy too. It's no different than going to them and say, hey, we need to get money. It's the responsibility of this town. Even if we do the merger here, I think the way the merger's going to walk out, and speaking to the chief of North Wildwood, the towns still have their fire departments underneath. They just operate a lot differently. They want to share the service cost of a lot of different things, and a response time that allows them to get their people. Because ideally, We all know that it's across the state and it's out there, it's on TV, volunteers are gone, right? So you're going to be paying for fire service. It's where it's going down to. That cycle down there and that model down there in North Wildwood is working out well. There's 5 municipalities, but they're still responsible for keeping the trucks from others.
Yeah, the way I was looking at this is it sounds like a 100-foot ladder truck is needed within the municipalities within the study regardless, and whether it's paid for now or later, you're still going to end up distributing those costs when we go through this process if we decide that that's what we want to do. I don't think that the amount of money changes because you would just prorate to the other towns.
And you look at what you have coming in. Here, if we wait another year, 2 more years from now to wait till to do this, it's just going to put it out longer. And the more that we're building here, it's going to be happening. Something does have to ladder truck. We're
Right.
down.
But I think, again, to Committeeman Frederick's point, that there is grant money out there available, but I think the latest one that I saw was maybe a $300,000 or $400,000 match or percentage of it. But you've put in before
I
for
put in
replacement
this
of,
year and we've got nothing because.
and you've put in before as well.
Yes.
So there is that past history to go on that for whatever reason, we have not been recipients of the grant. And I think there's still that opportunity, which is again, why we're doing this. But until we take possession of it, I'm sure we're going to apply for as many of these grants as we can
Absolutely,
to try and offset it. So I just think, again, each month the price goes up, and the longer we wait to do this, the more we're going to pay.
And you guys seen it, they were on Senate, they were with the Senate, the Senate brought the fire truck people in. I mean, it's just not us, struggling in small towns, it's the city, it's the same thing. They drove up by committing everybody into larger groups, and they drove the prices up, things like that. It's just making it worse for everybody. You see, the unions are really struggling too.
Right, but of these trucks, at least 2 out of the 3 are on state contract.
Yes.
Okay.
They're on state contract through Sourcewell, through the co-op. That's why the price is where it's at.
Right.
I had one distributor, this is the God's honest truth, I laughed at the guy, and I seen the guy down at the convention, the salesman down at the convention, hey, did you ever take my consideration? $2.8 million. I said, you're crazy. I'm not going to spend $2.8 million. I had 3 vendors come right to me, and I know exactly that we're all right in line. So we spec the truck out to meet the community's needs the next 30 years. NFPA, West New Jersey's done that, NFPA state, they just take into consideration. They ask for first line apparatus every 15 years to be considered to be replaced. And then you have that refurbishment time, but we're past the refurbishment time. We're 23 years in this truck. So if you waited another 4 more years for the builder's truck, you're way out. So if you wanted to put that in refurbishment, that truck should have been done back 10 years ago. Refurbishment probably would have gave you an extra 5 years on that. We're at the point now, it's getting to, it's nickel and diming us every year. We're putting $50,000 into it. It's like, when's enough enough?
I mean, you've mentioned the repairs on this truck so many times that I'm always surprised when I see it out at this point.
And the beauty of it is there's still a residual value on it.
There is. If we have to replace the motor in it or anything like that, I mean, we've replaced the pump in it. Over 7 years ago, we replaced the pump in it. The transmission's been replaced numerous times, even when Craig was mayor, it was replaced a few times. The truck's been rebuilt, but it's to the point where it's like you rebuild it, and how long does it take, and something else breaks, and it costs more. So eventually, the value, yes, there is value to that truck. It could be sold probably for 4 years from now. You might get a couple $100,000 for it back. As long as it stays in the machine.
Right, okay. So again, all of that would go into the options of paying down the bond or going back into the program.
And I'm looking at other ways, USDA, I'm looking at all other options to get money in. I mean, listen, I went out and jumped for this safer grant for paybacks. We need this community needs this. At the end of the day, I'm not thinking of myself, I'm thinking about the residents. And they pay enough tax money here, they need to have guys who are doing
Yeah, where would it be stationed?
Center County is where we live.
Okay, so it would still fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Response-wise, yes. Yeah, we're centralized right there, right?
I didn't know with that extra size, if that bumps.
No, because, I mean, if we're right here with 3 guys, you're talking about the ladder truck.
I'm talking about the size of the physical truck itself.
Oh, yes, we tried either station, it could fit either station. It could fit in the substation, we're here, We had it built so it would be down there, if the paid guys were down there, if they were down. Because here's what's happening, if I stick it in the substation up here now where the ambulance is, now I have to put gear up there, and I have to worry about getting guys up there to give them that truck here. Everybody's centralized in one spot, and they can be centralized out to the, north part of town, south end of town, they can get out.
Gotcha. Okay. And the only other question I had is, again, when I was talking to some of the developers owning the warehouses,
Yes.
they said because of all the suppression equipment and everything that's in there, that they don't necessarily need access to the roof. I know there was, I think, Michael's down in like Winslow Township, like their warehouse caught fire, and they just shot as far as they can. Clearly, we want to make sure safety is an ultimate concern.
So when Medtronics was built, that warehouse out there, the UPS warehouse that was out there, right? When that was being built, that roof caught on fire. And we had to back our 75-foot ladder truck straight up on the building and come straight up in. Well, what that does is that's a safety aspect. And then when I had you and Vern Marino out there, we had a 137 here that day. Remember that one day from Springfield, it was 137 feet reach. And the reason why is I'm looking at, we wanted to make sure the truck was out of the collapse zone and the manpower was out of the collapse zone, because if you look at the Walmart fire in Indiana, when that wall collapsed, they came down there, it was fully loaded trailers, semi-trailers in there, and they were flipping up in the air like this. So your truck's inevitable, it's going to get damaged in a big fire, but you need to make access to the buildings, yes. So at 100 feet, we can do that.
Again, I think you have aging equipment, so you're talking about equipment and then you're talking about personnel. Both go hand in hand, and there's a need for both. So thank you for all your efforts. So again, I would like to entertain bringing a bond in front of the municipality for this. Any comments or suggestions?
I mean,
If I work hand in hand with you guys decide to do that, but I'm going to keep chasing grants to help you
Oh,
guys.
absolutely. And so will we. And we appreciate your efforts on that
You
because
understand what I'm saying?
it
So
makes it
I'm
easier.
not saying, hey, I want you, I'm going to try, just like I did with the paper, I'm trying to find every avenue I can.
I say we approach this like we did with the park, because we only have to, if I understand correctly, have the bond bonded. We do not have to draw on the bond until the truck is purchased. And
that's 4 years from now. You're not going to pay for it for 4 years
Right.
from now. So you might have developers coming in, things like that, that you other avenues, you can bring other money in and pay for that truck then. If you put a deposit down, it'll go into an escrow account and sit there, and it's going to make 4.5% every year that money's sitting there until the time payment comes for that truck.
I think it's time to move forward. I mean, it was about 5, 6 years ago, we were talking about replacing this truck, and we're finally in a position where I think we have the financial resources to do so, and honestly, not much of a choice in the matter with how frequently the truck is broken.
All right. Well, then hopefully we can revisit this next
Yeah,
month.
like I said, I just think we need to structure it and understand it from a dollars and cents naturally, right? Just understand how it could be paid. And obviously, we have multiple developers that clearly would be the beneficiary of that. So, and grants and things through the year. So I'm all for exploring it and moving forward if it makes the most logical sense, which sounds like it does.
Well, I think it's not just the developers. I think it's all our residents.
Oh, right. I'm just talking about,
Yeah.
obviously, we have the residents who will pay for it, and we have developers who could pay for it.
Right.
From again, the specific truck in question is certainly meant because of a warehouse. It's just call it what it is.
And with all the apartments, listen, the apartments and things are being built, not only just in the township, but also in the borough and things like that. It's going to be needed everywhere. I mean, it's inevitable.
I mean, I think it's worth clarifying that the marginal increase in length of the ladder is due to warehouses, but on the whole, I think we need a ladder truck either way.
Right.
We had one far before we had any sort of warehouse.
That truck's a 2002. We got it in 2002. And I'll never forget when that truck was purchased in 2002, that was a demo truck. And at the time, the mayor, I want to say Garuza, they brought a check down that night when the vendor brought there. They looked at the truck, they got the truck, they drew it around, they wrote the check out for it and handed the vendor the check. And at the time, it was $625,000 for a 75 back then, paid for it. So before COVID, that 100-foot ladder truck would have been $1.1 million. But since COVID, you see how things and now they're talking another, November 1st, another 40 grand.
Right.
What we already negotiated down to, and now.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I had alerted the mayor to an article picked up in the New York Times. You realize this isn't just coincidental. There has been a consolidation of the fire truck industry.
Yes.
Wherein smaller manufacturers, and they're all smaller manufacturers, have been bought out. And surprise, there's been a steady march forward, anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8% a year increase in prices with this consolidation of manufacturers. So I think it stinks. These are products that towns absolutely rely on to preserve their towns. And I think there's monkey business.
I mean, you look at this, my cheese truck, it still hasn't been done yet, they're still waiting for parts. That's how bad parts are right now. I mean, I'm a brand new pickup that I can't respond to calls, and sit down at the elevator waiting for parts. I was just there Friday, and like, still waiting for parts.
That was that chrome detailing package, wasn't it?
It's, a lot of it has to do with the lighting, the hardware that goes inside the computers.
They're bespoke. It's as if you're getting a Rolls Royce. And that's the kind of price tag
Right.
we're now starting to
Right.
see.
I think we should very much, for the record, clarify the chief does not drive a Rolls Royce.
That's
and
true.
neither
Very, very
is it chrome.
You don't strike me as a Rolls Royce kind of guy. Just trying to make a point.
All right,
Any
thank
other
you.
questions from the?
Any additional?
Just actually one, I think this past month we had 17 that we could not,
Yeah, so mutual aid took care of it, and FM's office took care of it,
Yeah.
during daytime as well. Also,
that's what I was gonna ask, because it was all daytime.
Yep, a lot of it's daytime. We do, since let's real quickly clarify charging for services. So as of tonight, charging for services, we charge for about $4,300 worth of some stuff, for instance, that we've been on New Jersey Turnpike and 322, and we have only gotten paid $1,000 out of that $4,300 that we charge. So it's not a big moneymaker as you thought it would be. We are submitting for those accidents. We had an accident at 1:30 this morning on the Turnpike northbound. We did submit today for that, so it took us to $4,300 some odd dollars what we have to date, and that's been going on since May. And it's not making money like we thought, so just to give you guys a clarification.
Is it at least paying for our supplies?
It's playing for our wheel drive, things like that, if we guess, but it's not like everybody thinks it's gonna make us tens of thousands of dollars, it's not, so. But it's covering some of our costs with this.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, and you'll email me those specs so I can send it out to committee?
I have expected, yeah.
Thank you. All right. The police department, again, their report is included with a couple commendations, which are very good to note. If you have any questions, you can see Deputy Chief. Township Engineer. Oh, sorry, Fred. Whoops. Swedesboro Fire Bureau. Sorry.
That was so good, and I 100% back everything the chief said. And, you know, everything that you do, it's for the community, bottom line. Anyway, my report has been submitted. You see the numbers. We are on track to do all the inspections, the annual inspections, 100% by the end of the year. So we're on track for that. It's both inspections and re-inspections. Made a note that just a few weeks ago we had an incident right here in Municipal Hall. A fire alarm activation during a work day. Quick response from the police department, the fire department, public works were here. The place was evacuated. Just what it's supposed to do. The fire alarm goes off, out of the building. Found a sprinkler pipe that was leaking in the hallway in the back. The alarm system did its job, able to mitigate it, repair, come out, took care of it. Found a couple more potential problems that if it didn't go, it would happen tomorrow or the next week type of thing. So able to take care of all that. Everything in place worked properly. Everyone did their what they're supposed to do. Fire safety, is what it's all about. Any questions?
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now to the township engineer.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Committee. You have my report. There was a couple items I wanted to provide further detail and clarification on. Garwin Road, we got the award deadline extension to January 31st of 2026. It says in the report we're going to submit PSC 3 by the end of this week. We actually submitted it last Thursday, so that is now back in DOT's court. There weren't that many comments, so I anticipate a quick turnaround for the review on this one. Hopefully get their final blessing and we can get that scheduled for advertising for bid. Lock Avenue Park, nothing too major updates, but still ongoing construction, utility installation, road paving happened this past month, curb installation as well. I don't know if the other guys have any questions about what's happening in Lock Avenue Park. We can address those now if you don't have any.
Well, just as of our meeting last Monday, have there been any updates with the Swedesboro MUA?
We're in contact with them. We received their utility mapping this afternoon. Our water design team is reviewing that and coming up with revisions to that based off the details that they finally provided us.
Did you say revisions?
The size of the pipe was different than what they initially said, so we have to just revise some of the details.
But hasn't that all been ordered? Wasn't that indicated that was all ordered already? So
it was ordered for the Aqua connection, not for the Swedesboro MUA connection.
okay.
But I mean, we're reviewing that now. We can talk later once our design team has fully looked at that. We got it this afternoon, later this afternoon. I don't have all the details on everything. I just know that we got that mapping in. I don't have everything now. That's why I don't have full details to say at this point. We're still reviewing it, and we can talk more after we've reviewed the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, and then the other part was all of our extraneous items that we wanted to purchase, and including the paving, since they're paving as they go along. Have you heard an update from
I
that?
haven't heard anything back from that. The main project manager for the contractor, Debbie, was on vacation last week. I did not know because she did not have her email set to I'm out of the office. She messaged me this morning and said Zara was out. She has to reconvene with her team and get back to us, but that's the only update I've heard based off of that.
Okay, all right, because again, we're very anxiously awaiting that. And then I know an email was sent today from one of our public works employees about the hydro seeding and the seeding, because that's going to be impacted by the water availability, which is why I was asking about the Swedesboro. So whoever the subcontractor is that was supposed to be doing the hydro seeding was going to do it next week. So you're included in that email today.
It'll all be addressed with the water design team's response to the Swedesboro MUA utility mapping.
I get that, but if they're going to be out there hydro seeding next week, and you're still talking about changing sizes of pipe.
That's probably not going to happen next week.
Okay, then our window is also growing short, because otherwise we're going to have to look into when are we going to be seeding in order for it to be ready for the spring. So this needs to be figured out.
Yes.
So it's not sod.
Soccer field, sod, baseball is seating.
Okay. So what is the current?
But no water right now, so.
Right, so, yeah, can't do either. Got it. And then you said the MUA, so we don't actually have an agreement anymore with Swedesboro?
So the initial plan was to connect the irrigation system and the water system to the Aqua connection. There was an issue where the Aqua service area, the connection with the new entrance to the expansion of the park and in Lock Ave, the intersection of that entrance and Lock Ave, that connection spot is not in Aqua service area. Aqua service area is 300 feet to the north. So if we connect 300 feet to the north, it's in their service area. If we connect where our plan was, it was not. We did not know that until about a month ago. We had coordinated with Aqua during design phase. They said, yes, this is in our service area. They sent us a will serve letter in the summer saying, we will serve you as the letter denotes. And a couple months later, they realized this connection point was not in their service area, and in fact, it was Swedesboro MUA in their service area.
With whose?
Swedesboro MUA.
Swedesboro, okay.
So now we are in coordination with them for a connection with Swedesboro MUA, and they sent us their maps late this afternoon.
So we're paying a roughly $10 million park where Swedesboro will heavily be utilizing it. So are we having pushback from Swedesboro MUA on getting the connection and getting through the process?
I think it's just there was a new person.
Okay.
So it's a new person in the position, am I correct? And that's what part of this is?
We just have to have an agreement with a different entity, right? We had an agreement formally
Right.
with Aqua saying we're going to connect to your service line, and now we have to have, instead of Aqua, we will now have one with Swedesboro MUA.
I don't think it's a disagreement. I think this is just being presented to them now.
Got it.
Yeah.
So hopefully just paperwork.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully. Which we will find out shortly, right?
Yes, again, we just got the maps this afternoon.
I'm just saying, if there's concerns, we need to make
Right,
sure
we
we
need to
raise
know
the
now.
fact that we're paying 10 million, you're paying for a connection.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further on the park before I move on?
Any of your last statement?
Anything further on the park before I
Just
move
one,
on?
what is the current go live? Assuming all that we just talked about generally works its way out? I know we said spring, but is that for all fields or is that just the soccer?
Well, for the spring, yes. I mean, with the sodding and seeding now with the possible delays with the water, might not be able to sod and seed until the spring. But yes.
So then when could you open? Not till the spring of the following year, right? You need 2 seatings?
No, I mean, we can still open in fall of 26.
With 1 seating?
Yes, I think that was the initial plan anyway. And
No, that was never the initial plan. It was always the fall. We pressed the fall. We said it had to be done in the fall. And you kept saying that we can have, we'll give them a year to construct, which was fine, but we still pressed pre-con and after. You got to have a fall seating because it's always been 2 seatings. Then you can utilize, we open in the fall of 26. I don't know how you do that unless you say, you know what, we messed up. We have to sod everything. And to me, that's where I start to go towards. For us to, if we're going to, we can't just seed. And if you want to hydroseed and hydroseed, maybe that. But it can't be on, to me, the township's dime. We pressed and pressed. You have to get this ready. No reason for the fall this couldn't be ready. And it's only not ready now because we don't have water. And I don't know how we design it, not to put you on the spot, Mark, because it's not all you, but I don't know how R&V designs it and not know the size or who owns the pipe in the street. How do I put a scope of work together? How do I tell the contractor this is what it's going to cost, and I don't know the size that's in the street or who owns it? I just assumed it.
So in the initial design, and again, I'm only speaking from what I heard because I was not with the firm at the time, but in the initial design, we reached out to Aqua and Swedesboro MUA, and Aqua said, oh yeah, we have a pipe there. One of our members at the firm was out there and saw Aqua install it in Lock Avenue when they installed it. And they said, yeah, we have a line in Lock Avenue, and we serve Woolwich, so you can connect here at this location. The entire design process, that was the understanding because that's what was told to us by Aqua. They said, we have a 16-inch line, we designed for the 16-inch line and to connect to Aqua. It was only about a month ago that we learned Aqua, this is not their service area. So we had to pivot entirely and coordinate with Swedesboro MUA. They did not know what size pipe they had in Lock Ave in the road until they had to find their utility maps and give it to us again today.
I think I can even answer that. Aqua has a transmission line that goes from one side of the municipality to the other, so that's their 16-inch line. But what Swedesboro has is they have a pump station which goes to our our concession stand. So, and this plan all along was running a pipe, a very small pipe, all the way up, past all the existing soccer fields to tap into the Swedesboro.
For the sewer line, yes.
For the sewer, but I thought the water was
The water,
shadowing that.
the water was running along the new entrance to the new expansion, along that driveway entrance, and then connecting into Lock Ave at like a 90-degree angle. That was the plan. And that was because Aqua said our 16-inch line is there. They didn't say it was, they're calling it a distribution line because it distributes water from north of their service area to south of the service area. But they led us to believe that we were in the service area because they service Woolwich. This is a connection in Woolwich. They didn't know it was right on the border and that it wouldn't be, that's not in the service area.
Sounds like you have some calls to make tomorrow.
Yes, understood. Yes.
A lot.
I wouldn't even say calls, I mean, you got pound the door.
Yeah.
Like physically, like face-to-face conversation. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Get fired up for the SADC?
Yeah, all right.
Just straight hit that guy.
That sounds
And
good.
I can speak because I've been talking with our manager for the water wastewater design team, and they've been calling the engineer for the MUA essentially every day for the past 2 weeks, trying to get this coordinated.
You gotta go knock on the door.
Yeah. But
Seriously,
I mean,
like, have you tried for 2 weeks with no response?
we got the maps today again, so we're reviewing it and we'll come up with again it's a revision just because we didn't know what was in the road, and now we do, and we can go forward.
I would very much like an email with the person, the name of the contact for the Swedesboro MUA, so that I could have a conversation with them as well.
Okay.
So please email me that tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Any additional questions about the park? Any more good news, Mark?
That was all the updates that I had.
Great.
Okay. Center Square Road Walking Trail Rehab Project, construction is complete. Closeout for that one is ongoing, but that construction has finished. Nothing further to add. I think Jim talked about the Russell Mill Road, Back Creek Road, and Oak View Terrace projects. The construction is supposed to begin shortly. Elephants Mill Road and Porches Mill Dam. Our H&H analysis has been, I'd say 95% complete. We're doing QA/QC review on it right now, close to signing off on it. And once that is complete, we will submit that to DEP, also submit it to the county, and that can be used as an attachment for the county's application for decommissioning the dam once they submit that.
All right. On that one, I'm now getting weekly emails from FEMA, and again, we talked about potentially getting an extension. I'm sorry that Fred left, but Fred, as our OEM coordinator, is saying that we were told by Sam Trotman last time that there were no more extensions possible. And if we don't award, I don't know what happens. Again, FEMA's in shutdown, and he believes that Sam Trotman has moved on to a different position. There's another person in there, and I don't know if there's any insight from the county on that. But so if we cannot get any further extensions, even though it was with the state, we're dealing with a federal entity for FEMA. I think we continue on with the work, continue on with what we've been doing, but I don't know what the fallout might be. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but this is something, again, that's been out of our control for a very long time, but we've been doing what we're supposed to do. But these notifications keep coming that our extension that we asked for is running out, and I don't believe we're going to be able to get another one. So while you're saying the H&H analysis is done, this should be the last hurdle before we get correct. Or who reviews that and then says, township or county, you still have to do X, Y, Z.
So the analysis is one part of the application back to dam safety to review the decommissioning of this. And that is going to be submitted by the county.
So it's dam safety.
Yes, a part of DEP.
Right.
Yes.
So who required the H&H?
It's in dam safety's requirements for a decommissioning of a dam application. That's one of their attachments or things that requires.
Which again, they're the one that held it up for so many years in order to review it. And now they're asking for this, but meanwhile FEMA, who gave us the money for it, is saying you're out of time. And
Right, and because that was my other question once we get to the other items, but do we have the FEMA money, or is it, like, where is it?
it's in an account, it's sitting here.
In
Yeah,
our
Woolwich
account?
Township has it.
Okay,
Woolwich Township has it. And again, since the way it was structured, Woolwich Township put in one package for several events.
right, yeah.
And so we've already received that funding. And then now FEMA has gone back with the OEM and said, well, this didn't qualify, this didn't qualify. But since we had already paid that out of the emergency bonding that we did, then that's covered. But now, so the initial FEMA grant, I want to say, was for 900,000, I want to say, and now that's down somewhere around the 600,000 mark. But I don't know what happens now. If we've run out of time, are they going to come and ask for their money back? But again, I think we just keep marching forward, doing what we're supposed to do, and then we show the documentation that this was out of our hands. This is with the state dam safety. And I don't mean that as a curse word. I'm starting to think it.
No, and yeah, and I think once we get a hold of the new contact person with the FEMA grant, I feel like that will be, we can try and communicate that. But I've been trying to email Sam Chapman as well, and I've been getting bounce backs from the email, so I'm not sure exactly who the new contact person is either.
Right, because again, this is our second H&H analysis because so much time had expired in between the first one when they got back. I don't want to do it a third time.
Right, yep.
They need to accept these results and move on. So, all right, keep at it.
So then with the FEMA though, off of the note, you're saying Lock Ave and Ogden did not get approved as FEMA, even though this was 4 years ago? So
Correct.
we just got that answer? Like,
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
okay, but by, like, who and for what? Just, I mean,
What was the explanation?
Yeah.
you're saying?
Oh, FEMA, you can reach out to Fred. FEMA has the explanation
Okay.
as far as why it didn't qualify.
Because last I checked, it was because of 4 year ago, 100-day or 100-year event.
I think it was whatever the scope or the service of it, FEMA felt differently than what we put in for the usage of it. So Lock Avenue was, again, the washout for the entrance to the park, and that didn't qualify. And so,
And Ogden knocked out a whole road.
right, but I don't know if it's the traffic volume. Talk to Fred.
Okay,
as our
okay,
OEM.
all right, I will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the last item I wanted to touch on. With any questions on anything else in the report?
Just one Nike base. I forget what my note says. Nike TCO. Are we close to issuing?
I have base paving completed and outstanding site improvements ongoing for that one.
Can you talk a little closer to the mic?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Base paving is complete and the outstanding site improvements are ongoing for that one. So they're, I'm not sure how close they would be to a TCO for that one. I do know they requested a punch list letter preemptive of our TCO inspection, just so they could have a list of everything that they needed. We also provided a landscape punch letter from our landscape architect for any outstanding landscape items that they would have to address, dead, dying trees, missing trees, things of that nature. So they have two different punch lists from us of things to address before we're even going to do our TCO inspection. So I'd say probably still a couple months out from getting our recommendation for TCO.
You said a couple of months?
I would think so,
Oh.
based off just the two different punch list letters that we sent.
They still have a large sound wall. I don't know if you saw it in the back, but they built part of it, and it's going to come all along Musumisi's property, all the
Yep.
way up to the street.
Okay. I mean, end of the day, I just know that's a big trigger, right, for one, a pilot, and two, there's additional payments
Yes.
based off of our redevelopment agreement. So just make sure we have that noted.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, liaison reports. Committeeman Frederick.
Sorry. There's a couple items. One, we were contacted by the Philadelphia Inquirer just to learn a little bit more about our pickleball program. So I'm not sure what Doug's title is, but whatever we call our pickleball coordinator, he had a conversation with him. I haven't seen anything in terms of any publication, but I thought that was nice to be recognized. And then two other things. Using the funds that we have, I'm talking to disc golf for a second. We have raised, no, we have, through the fees, we have $1,300, basically when people can reserve the park. We have $1,300 due to the reservations specifically with the disc golf. We walked, myself, Brian, and basically there's tons of volunteers that help out in that park. They are looking to see if we can spend up to $1,000 of that money to basically plant some arborvitaes and some other natural landscaping. So it's within the budget. I'm not sure what we need to do, to review, to approve as a whole, but basically taking of the $1,300 set aside for the disc golf, use $1,000 to help with beautification project of the park.
So my question always goes back to irrigation. As we said,
Yep.
we've mandated that irrigation is included to all new construction projects. So what is their water source for?
Great question. I don't have a good answer.
Okay. I would want an answer to
Yep.
that because I don't want to spend $1,000 and then they all die.
I agree. And that's the same item for, yeah, again, once in a while I get complaints from the residents back here about the pickleball sound.
Mhm.
And so what we're looking for, kind of similar concept, is maybe arborvitaes that help capture that
Just wait
sound
till
around.
all the apartments come in and then it'll be great. Sound right away.
Yeah. So, but same, good question,
Yeah.
in terms of the water source for it. Obviously, I know we have water around and we have the garden itself. So I'll explore a little bit more about that one, but same concept, would be just using the existing funds. And then the only other item for just, again, the courts themselves is we've seen a couple of courts that in weather or just different gatherings, there is another, basically like picnic benches and basically some type of a roof, but it's like a similar fabric than what we have out there for the existing benches. Basically looking to do that at the entranceway so people can kind of come spend the afternoon, do lunches and things. So no prices, no quotes, no nothing, just the concept of having a nice little area for either the kids that are there displaying to play and color while parents are there, or eating lunch, etc.
I would think if you're looking to purchase picnic tables, you should look to incorporate it into our larger order for Lock Avenue Park, because that's where we're buying additional picnic tables to refurbish the ones that are under the concession stand and things like that. So if it's one or two, then it should be brought
I don't think it
into-
would be more than two.
Okay, then I think it should be brought into the larger order.
Okay, I'll send you
So
an
yeah, I think if you email, and then we can add it in. And then also, we're also looking to add screening and netting for like on softball fields and different things at the park. So if your canopy would fall under that, I think we could add it into the larger order.
Sure, okay.
So I think just send our engineer and copy our administrator on that, and then we can at least have a price to bring it back.
Perfect. That's all I have.
All right. Committeewoman Williams will talk about Parks and Recreation, how they have the Not So Scary movie night coming up, and I think it's this weekend?
The parade?
Yeah, the parade moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this weekend. Visit Facebook for more information or our township website. Committeewoman Minhas, I'm sure will tell us about how much bulk recycling was done and bulk pickups and trash. And again, you can ask either one of them for their reports. Deputy Mayor.
Right. Very little updates from me. Nothing on the school front. And as far as the Environmental Commission, relatively quiet meeting as we get towards the colder part of the year. There were discussions around bike racks. That's really been the big subject of where they might go. The Environmental Commission wants to likely purchase bike racks and then hopefully drive future bike rack installations through Swedesboro and Woolwich outside of the Environmental Commission.
Well, make sure they include a bike rack for the pickleball courts for everybody.
There is one there.
Oh.
It's just a tiny
Is
one.
that, but that's the one that was out here.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes,
It got
it
moved.
moved.
Yeah.
There's lots of strong opinions on what bike racks are the most effective and where they belong. They did put out a map during Speedsboro Day that people filled out where they thought a bike rack should go. Much of them are on private land, so the commission will have to work with anyone to see if they're interested in sponsoring one, but there's also some public lands as well.
All right. Okay, thank you. Any questions? All
If you
right.
want a bike rack somewhere specific.
Well, I want the one out front, back there, or just buy a new one.
You know, I don't think I've ridden my bike here since we've moved that.
See? I can't because I have no place to put my bike. All right.
You can
Okay.
put it in your office.
I could put it in my office. Or I could just leave it on the back of my vehicle like Jim does.
Bike rack.
All right, the Joint Land Use Board did not meet in the last month. And of course, we heard from Fire, and Courts has been doing very, very well. I think Paula and her deputy have been doing a great job so far. Haven't heard anything to the contrary.
I made a meeting for 2 days from now with her boss just to get feedback, how things are going.
Good.
So we have a meeting together.
Good. Okay, so under old business, LEAP grant bid updates, of course, you heard from the fire chief, and you're going to see on here the resolution 2025-282. This is, again, since they provided an RFQ, we have their hourly rates, so this is a not to exceed. It's going to be way under, and we will be receiving monitoring reports, as you can see inside the resolution. So when we get to that, we can have any further discussion about that. So the RVE traffic study, Garwin Road. Last time I brought this to the committee, I had
I'm sorry,
mentioned.
Mayor, just one quick question on
Yeah.
the topic. So I believe we spent $8,000
Yes.
already on that, so I thought we were trying to take that from the 75.
Yeah, so again, this just makes it easier to just put the 75, so we can, once we get through it, then we can, once we start the study, once we award the study, then we can incorporate it into it, is what I was led to believe.
Okay, so we should not approve it for 67?
We can,
Okay, just because I would match it out to,
yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Well, we haven't even done that resolution yet.
We have not? Yep.
But that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So in front of you is the latest update from R&B to do a traffic analysis for Garwin Road and 322. Again, for the record, we've heard from the public that there are major traffic issues at Garwin and 322. We're all aware of this. However, 322 is a state highway that we have no control over. We do have control over Garwin Road. But what we need, our first point of contact needs to be an analysis. Because from here, whatever changes that we want to do are going to impact the state road. So we're going to have to submit our request to the state, and we need to have the backing of a signator who has expertise, other than us just coming along and saying, well, this is what we decided because we feel like it. So, which some municipalities do that. So again, this is what we're looking to do. Now the traffic study has been not to exceed $4,865. This would give us, I believe, enough information to see what our options are for the Garwin Road and Garwin Road and 322 intersection. So take a look at it. Let me know if you have any questions.
How recent do the studies need to be? Because some of the traffic studies are now 3, 4 years old, 5 years old maybe?
Are you saying to submit to the state, how recent do they need to be for, I don't,
So my understanding was you're going to use existing traffic studies that were done. So for example, the Little North Point with the warehouses right near that intersection. We know Wolfson has some various studies on Kingsway all the way to the Turnpike, basically. And I know the affordable housing is just redoing some traffic studies as well. So I'm just curious how recent do those studies need to be to make an impact for the study?
I mean, we will look at any recent study that's been done, especially with all the development that's happened, police reports, accident counts, and then project for future development as well, and see what demand that would yield on that road in 322.
And just as Mayor just noted that we are using this to potentially provide a package to the state. I just don't want the state to say, oh, I'm sorry, this study was 4 years old and then it's outdated.
I can't speak to what the state's guidelines are for how recent the study.
Probably the most relevant one would have been the Little North Point.
Well, yeah, that, or as you said, there's going to be a forthcoming one from an affordable housing project. So all of that can be done. But again, this is to give us an analysis and to give us a recommendation and the signature of a traffic expert who's saying these are the recommendations. So I think this helps our case if the state then comes back and says, no. Again, we're looking to do this on our roads, not their roads, but it is going to have an impact on theirs. So if they come back, as they could do, and say, you need to redo this, at least we've done our legwork to say this is how we arrived at this conclusion. If you need further details, then we can conduct further details. And I think no matter what we decide to do to implement this, we're going to need further study. So this is really just the initial, what are our options from somebody who is an expert in traffic. So I would be looking for a motion to authorize this traffic study with a not to exceed of $4,865.
As in tonight?
Well, yeah, as in tonight, because the sooner we get this started, then the sooner we can get answers. Because again, we know how the state DOT works. And I think, again, we have outstanding safety issues that we're aware of. So the sooner we can come up with a solution, or at least be presented with what those options are, the better we can react. So yeah, I think, again,
We do have a certification of funds, or do we know where the dollars are coming from?
well, what we can do is, again, we can make the motion to not to exceed pending certification of funds. And it would come from our engineering line item. But yes, I know they all have to be allocated. I think there is a general line item for engineering services. But I can get clarification on that if we should move it. And it has that wording in there. So would anybody be interested in making that very specific motion?
I will make a motion to approve this proposal with a not to exceed of $4,865 pending certification of funds.
Okay, is there a second? I will second that. Are there any questions?
I'm just halfway through the first page.
So,
So,
so I'll give you time. You want?
we can either do that, or I mean, we would have enough votes to continue. I would need to abstain just because I haven't read it.
You tell me if it will help me to give you a couple minutes.
You want Mark to try to sell it to you? He's right
Nope.
there. Oh, okay.
I think he's
I would say yes if you got the MUA done and a couple of other. Just give me 4 minutes, maybe?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You know, can you give me that copy?
Absolutely.
Jim, did you want a copy of this?
Yeah.
No. This is the updated. Yeah.
Yep.
Just price. Yeah. Yeah, this is the same one, Committeeman Frederick, that you saw
Yeah.
before, just the price.
The
Yeah.
numbers.
I thought we were making a couple of changes off of Deputy Mayor's recommendations in terms of the options?
That did change as
That
well.
did change, that's,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
That just became RVU will review potential intersection and roadway improvements,
Right.
Okay.
as opposed to the other ones that were spelled out, but
Right.
otherwise read as limited.
Yeah.
And just to note too, the Affordable Housing Group did do a traffic study and came up with that intersection as an F. So it's failed.
Okay, it's 2 questions. For phase 1, you say that you will only look at the 5 most recent years, sorry, reading too fast. That's fine. Second question, or really first question now, is under deliverables, when you say technical memorandum, I'm assuming that would include recommendations or options?
Yes, so under phase 4, where if we present technical memorandum, we say the results of the analysis from the first 3 phases, and then phase 3 is improvement alternatives. So the memo will have improvement alternatives within that.
Got it. Okay, I'm good, thank you.
All right, any additional questions? Then roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino,
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes, thank you.
You actually had 36 seconds to spare.
Did I really?
Pretty good. That's very quickly. All right.
Was it gonna beep on me?
I hadn't made up my mind yet.
Thanks.
All right, anything else under old business? In new business, best practice inventory report. Each year, the township is asked to review and accept the best practice inventory report for the calendar year 2020, calendar year 2025. So that is what you're seeing with resolution 283. Jessica or Jim, did you want to speak any more to that?
No.
Anything?
Okay.
They just ask you several questions, similar questions every year, and you need to go through them. And
We
Lois,
split
Lois
them.
does a big part, Jessica does some, I do a little. All come together, answer the questions, and see how we're doing in terms of best practices within the township.
And again, we're in the, we've answered correctly well enough that we don't have any state aid withheld.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's the important thing to know.
We're in the top tier. which
Top tier,
I
we're
believe
good.
We are every
Doing well.
Yes, so very good. So again, municipality is going to be asked to certify that. So we just wanted to talk about that. Are there any questions about the best practice inventory? Okay. Any additional new business? All right, I will just mention again, we are supposed to have our next town hall. And in light of the SAFER grant, the LEAP grant, and the potential purchase of a fire truck, I know we already talked about the fire company, but I think the topic should be the fire company again. So whether or not we have it here or at the fire hall, we'll figure out, but I think that'll be the next topic because these are big changes that are going to be coming to the municipality with a paid daytime staff, a new truck, a potential for a new truck, and then the LEAP grant that's going out for this study and what impact that could have on all residents and businesses. So I think we should do that as our topic. So that is on the 10th of November, Monday night. 6:30. So again, a little more casual, but please let me know if you are able to attend, because if there's not 3 of us, then Jessica can stay home. Okay.
I guess we'll just have to bump how a thing becomes a thing.
I know, till next
This
time,
year.
till next time. Okay. All right, Resolution 2025-282, resolution authorizing the Township of Woolwich to accept a local efficiency achievement LEAP grant challenge grant funding and award a contract to CRG to conduct a feasibility study for a regional professional fire company not to exceed an amended $67,000. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-282 as amended?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Sorry, I have one question, but I think I got an answer.
Nope.
Yes. Just if
Deputy-
I could have the RFQ, because that was also not in the packet. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. I have a flash drive in my office. Can I just provide you that? Okay. Resolution 2025-283, resolution of the Township Committee of the Township of Woolwich, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, accepting the best practice inventory report for CY 2025. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. All right, we've now reached the second public portion. The public is reminded to please stand and state their name and address for the record prior to addressing the committee. Can I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The floor is now open to the public.
Seeing no members of the public present, motion to close.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So, Resolution 2025-284, resolution authorizing a closed session of the Township Committee of the Township of Woolwich regarding personnel matter, police department hiring, administrative offices review hiring, and we are amending it to contractual matters consulting. So, can I have a resolution to adopt, can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-284 as amended?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And we are in closed session. We will have, as you can see by the agenda, we will have action coming out of consultation, but I expect we'll only be in there, what, half an hour or less? Yeah, about half an hour. All right, thank you. We are in closed.
Ready.
All right, can I have a motion to return to regular session?
Motion.
So I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And Resolution 2025-285. Should we do the 4 patrol? No, you know what? Let's read them out. 285, resolution of the Township of Woolwich appointing Christian J. Lawrence to the position of 8th Class Patrol Officer within the Woolwich Township Police Department. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. 2025-286, resolution of the Township of Woolwich appointing Matthew C. Farley to the position of 8th Class Patrol Officer within the Woolwich Township Police Department. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Resolution 2025-287, resolution of the Township of Woolwich appointing Drew M. Ford to the position of 8th Class Patrol Officer within the Woolwich Township Police Department. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Resolution 2025-288, resolution of the Township of Woolwich appointing Zachary R. Mulbire to the position of 8th Class Patrol Officer within the Woolwich Township Police Department. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Resolution 2025-289, resolution authorizing the hiring for position of Deputy Clerk, Finance Clerk, with a position offered to Mandy L. Renner. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second, just one item though, I think the resolution has a blank on the dollars as well.
Oh,
At least
all
it did,
right.
at least on my copy.
Mandy L. Renner at the salary of $55,000. So I have a motion as
Second.
introduced and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, then as stated, roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from September 15th, 2025, regular and exec, and October 5th, regular and exec?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second?
All right, any changes or corrections? Then just an all in favor will work. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and can I have approval of bills and purchase orders as submitted?
Don't you have two more?
No, I got more, don't worry.
Motion.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All right, then can I have a roll call, please?
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes, abstain Verizon bills.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. All right, Resolution 2025-290, resolution of the Woolwich Township Committee accepting the release and separation agreement. Accepting a release and separation agreement. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Can I have a second? I will second that. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. Resolution 2025-291, resolution of the Township of Woolwich appointing PM Consultants LLC to provide temporary certified municipal finance officer transition services. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Frederick.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Nocentino.
Yes.
Mayor Mathias.
Yes. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Here's you heard that.